My name is Ethan Ross. I'm 38 years old. 2 years ago, I thought I had everything a man could want: a wife, a steady job, and a small home near the lake. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Her name was Claire. She used to say, "Money doesn't matter, Ethan, as long as we have love." But love fades when the bills pile up and dreams start to rot. One day I came home early and found her packing. She didn't shout, didn't cry. She just said, "You've stopped trying, Ethan." And I can't keep pretending. By the time the divorce was final, she had the house, the car, even the dog. And I had silence. I tried working odd jobs, but grief doesn't make a good employee. A few missed shifts turned into no shifts. Then came eviction. And just like that, I was gone. Invisible. Homeless. For months, I slept behind a diner on 3rd Street. The cooks would throw out leftovers and I'd wait until the lights went out to eat. Sometimes people would walk past, holding coffee cups and talking about their plans. Weddings, promotions, vacations. The kind of words that hurt to hear when your only plan is to survive the night. I used to whisper to myself, "Just one more day, Ethan." One more, but hope is a currency I ran out of long ago. Until that morning, a car stopped near the alley. Sleek, black, silent. A man stepped out, his shoes too clean for this part of town. He said, "Are you Ethan Ross?" I laughed bitterly. "Yeah, what's left of him." He smiled faintly and pulled out a folder. "My name's Jonathan Hale. I'm with the Ashford Law Group. I've been searching for you." I frowned. "You must be desperate." But then he said words that didn't make sense. "Mr. Ross, you've just inherited $47 million. I stared at him, waiting for the joke to land. When it didn't, I muttered, "You've got the wrong guy. I don't even have a wallet." He opened the folder, showed me a photo. Me, at 25, standing beside a man I vaguely remembered. "This man," he said softly, "was Charles W. Ashford. He passed away last month. You're listed as his only heir." The name hit something buried deep, a memory. A tall man with gray hair visiting the foster home when I was a kid. He'd bring me books and chocolate, call me champ. The caretaker said he was just a donor. But now it made sense. "Your father," Jonathan said, "wanted to tell you the truth, but he never could." This inheritance was his way of making it right. I just stood there, in the rain, in rags, holding a letter that said I was worth millions. But how could I believe it when I couldn't even afford socks? Jonathan took me to a coastal estate outside the city. The gates opened like the mouth of a giant beast. Inside was marble, chandeliers, silence, and memories that weren't mine. On the study desk sat an envelope. "To my son, Ethan Ross." My hands shook as I opened it. "Ethan, I watched your life from afar. I wasn't strong enough to claim you, and that is my greatest shame. I built this fortune hoping one day I could give it to you, not as payment, but as apology. Use it to build a life you can be proud of. You are my legacy. Your father, Charles Ashford." I didn't realize I was crying until the letter blurred. Over the next few months, my world changed. New clothes, a new home, bank accounts, lawyers, interviews. People who had once stepped over me now smiled at me. But wealth doesn't erase the nights you spent shivering in the dark. It just changes the address. One night I went back to the diner alley, the place I used to sleep. A man was there, wrapped in cardboard, same as I had been. I left a note beside him with a key attached. It read, "Room 203, Maple Shelter. Paid for a year. Get warm, friend." Months later, I discovered something the lawyers never told me. Charles Ashford had been dying for years. Before he passed, he told his staff he wanted to see his son smile once before the end. He had seen me, homeless, lost, through a window one winter. He sent Jonathan to find me after his death because he knew guilt wouldn't let him rest. And suddenly, the money didn't feel like a gift. It felt like forgiveness. With that inheritance, I started the Ashford Foundation, shelters for the homeless, rehab centers for addicts, and scholarships for kids in foster care. People called me the homeless heir, but I never forgot the truth. "Money didn't save me," I said once on live TV. "A stranger's kindness did." And the realization that sometimes life destroys you to rebuild you right. Today, I'm 40 years old. I live in that same mansion by the sea, not as a monument to wealth, but as a reminder of where I came from. Every morning, I walk the cliff and whisper, "Thank you, Dad." And every night, before I sleep, I think about that rainy morning, the day a stranger asked, "Are you Ethan Ross?" And my entire life answered, "Yes." Sometimes the world takes everything from you, so it can show you who you really are. And sometimes the stranger who finds you in the dark is the hand of someone who loved you all along. This was the story of Ethan Ross, the man who lost everything to find everything that mattered.